Howdy, fellow horse enthusiasts and gamers. Are you ready for a wild ride into the unpredictable world of Astride? We've got an adventure ahead of us today. It's time to trot into chaos. Saddle up, my friends. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Now, let's go back in time. It's June 2nd, 2023, and Astride trots into the gaming scene with its early access pass priced at 25 euros. Upon its hot mess of a release, the developers attempted to place blame on different setbacks and some strict rules that had to do with government funding.
Oh no!
There wasn't even a gameplay loop, and don't even get me started on the jumping mechanics. They were so sad and disappointing. To be honest, the jump mechanic was more comedy than competition. We got no sound, and there wasn't much of anything to even explore. Truly a negative rating in the immersion department, but I still had hope. Okay, keeping all that in mind, fast forward 6 months to December 1st, 2023, when they drop a big update trying to patch up the mess. So it's been about 6 months, keep that in mind, 6 months. And while the game is still in early development stages, it is still a pay-to-play product, so please keep that in mind when I review this game. Again, I think the first thing you will notice when you start up Astride is the visual downgrade. The once dreamy pastel palette is replaced with a bright, harsh light. It hurt my eyes so much. Oh, the sacrifices we make for our pixel ponies. You see dark shadows everywhere, and the harsh lines and brightness is pretty much everything you don't want to see in a gaming atmosphere. While I love sunlight, as a photographer, you're trained in the importance of light, and it's why golden hour is such a popular time to take photos. And even if you wanted that high noon midday drama, they could have opted for more overcast weather so we could see more details instead of these harsh shadows. To speed up is W, to slow down is S. Turn left is A, turn right is D. Hold W and tap shift to change your gait to a faster. Hold S and tap shift to change to a slower gait. If you are walking, you have to hit W and shift up to transition into the trot. And there's a huge time delay from the walk-trot transition, which I think might be intentional. The trot is a gait all on its own. It's very unrealistic and super hard to get because there is only one speed. And if you hit the S button continuously when you are at a canter, you will skip the trot and go straight to the walk.
You mother!
Well, I think there's a lot of time spent in the animation department and the horse mechanic department. The horse's feet actually have inverse kinematics. What that means is their hooves are able to adjust and stay balanced on uneven ground. So bumpy or hilly terrain, it's like the hooves have sensors in their feet telling them just how it should be positioned on the ground. It's not perfect in every gait, but it's a nice little detail I noticed, and I appreciate it so that my horse doesn't look weird standing on uneven ground. I think it might have been the last gait animation to be worked on. It's just lacking the inverse kinematics at times, their legs don't stretch properly, and it looks overall like a hot mess. I really hope it's just been left on the back burner because the other gates took priority. Because if that's the case, cool. If it's intentional, oh boy, we might be in some trouble. I could honestly make a whole video on the horse creator and its genetics, and maybe I'll do that. Well, again, not every person is super proficient in equine genetics. I think that there's still a lot that we don't know, and we continuously are learning new things. So there's probably no way to implement perfect genetic perfection when it comes to a horse game. And some of the colors can be subjective and depend on the breed and regional location, like sorrel and chestnut and mealy horses, etc. You can't forget fjords. So for me, it's important not to mislead people. And it's fact that horses have 3 basic coat colors. There's only 3: red, black, and bay. So that being said, Astride has double cream dilute listed as a base color, which is completely incorrect. There are 2 cream dilutions, a single cream dilution and a double cream dilution. That's it. It's not a base color. They also have buckskin listed as a main coat color, which is untrue. It is not a base coat. It is a cream dilution. The Howdy gene determines whether the horse will have a black or bay coat by controlling the distribution of the black pigment. I covered this in another video, actually, about the Sims. You can see if you click the link here. Shades like cinnamon, mahogany, blood bay are just descriptions with no proven genetic link to Howdy. So the cause of various bay shades has been debated for over 15 years, and we still don't know why. But that being said, the Howdy gene symbolizes as that big A/little a. Currently, there's no actual genetic evidence proving that mahogany blood bay is caused by the Howdy gene. These colors are just descriptions and are completely subjective and may vary. It's crucial to rely on verified genetic research, especially when dealing with genes. You can see that they included the Howdy gene, so here it is represented as influencing the shade of bay, and that is incorrect, as there is no solid evidence linking these shades of bay to the Howdy gene. And one last rant and a quick detour into the world of dun genes, which I also did a video on. It's the same video, but dun is separate from the primitive markings. So did you know that they are not one and the same? Meaning primitive markings owe their existence to the ND1, ND2 genes, not the dun gene. It's like separating the color from the stripes. So dun is not correctly represented in Astride. You can actually have the striping without the dun color and vice versa. I will say I love how you can adjust the Tobiano markings. It's a very satisfying thing to do and play with. I'd also like to say the black needs a bit more of a blue tint. The blue Roan does not look blue Roan. Honestly, I could go on, and if you want a video all about the horse genetics in Astride, please let me know in the comments below, and I will make sure I create a video like that. I'd love to use this horse creator and teach you everything wrong with it. In the December release, you now have dressage and show jumping, which seems pretty cool. Dressage has 3 different tests you can unlock, and I found them quite enjoyable despite lacking any lateral movements like side passing, versus just walking in a straight line diagonally. I found switching gaits to be much harder than necessary because of the time delays and inconsistencies between the walk, trot, and canter transitions. I just pretended my horse was green and this was our first show. Jumping, on the other hand, was less fun. Once I got the whole ball in the green thing down, I learned that I could just adjust it by S and W, and it helped a lot, but again, it feels more like a mini game than an immersive show jumping course. I honestly get more immersion from a lot of the other upcoming horse games and not this game. Tales of Rain Ravine being the first, Unbridled, that horse game, being the second. The jumping mechanics in those 2 games specifically immerse you, whereas Astride's jumping mechanic is stressful and it looks awful. You can get past the weird jumping mechanic, you are left with ugly animations, and the horse automatically jumping really just takes all the immersion. So this is Astride's current state after 6 months of development. Hopefully they'll take this feedback and others' feedback and constructive criticism and improve the game and not get lost too much in what people have to say, because I know it can be very overwhelming as a game dev. People like to share a lot of criticism, and not all of them are well, versed in what it takes to actually make a game and fund a game, etc. So here's hoping that they can take this game and really nurture it into all that it can be. And until then, I'm just gonna keep my eye on it and keep you posted. Yeah, let me know your experiences with the game, and feel free to leave a comment or subscribe if you'd like to see more. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. As always, happy trails.